Hi, my name is Karen Midlo, and I'm the founder of End of Life Doulas of Idaho. Glad to be here with you today, Dara.
Karen. Thank you so much for being here. I'm hoping you can take a few minutes to just tell us about your business and the focus of your work.
Absolutely. So, our focus is working with people at the end of their life. And that can look a lot of different ways for a lot of different people. We are a group of people who provide non medical, mental, emotional, and spiritual support to individuals who are terminally ill and their families. We provide a holistic approach, and we're here to support in whatever way that we can.
What do you enjoy most about the work that you do with your clients?
I think it's really sacred work. Being able to spend time with people in their final weeks, months of their life. I think people have a different view as they're looking over their life and what they've done and what they haven't done. I think it's a great opportunity to help people work through forgiveness and some of their anger and let go of things. We're here to help support whatever the client and the family need. And that can look like lots of things for a lot of different people. It could be putting in, making sure they have advanced directives. It could be helping them come up with a legacy. What do they want to do? What do they want to leave their family? Maybe they want to write a letter. Maybe they want to send birthday gifts after they've died that'll arrive. It can look like lots of different things, but we're here to support the patient and their family, whatever that looks like for them.
What brought you to this work? Was there a personal experience or a motivation? Why do you do what you do?
Wow, it's a great question. My why. When I was pretty young, I lost my husband died suddenly, and at that time, I was working in an assisted living community. And those residents were the ones who took me under their wing and loved me up and understood what I was going through. None of my friends understood. None of my parents, nobody else understood, but they did. And in that moment, I promised that I would help seniors the rest of my life. And it's been in the assisted living world, but I've decided that there's something bigger and better that I want to help people do because most people are so afraid about having the conversation around death and dying. So I'm going to play a little game with you. Are you game?
Hey, I'm game.
Okay, perfect. Pick a card with it. One,
I'm
two,
gonna
three, or four.
two.
Two it is. Okay. So this is a game that was developed by a writer and a palliative or a hospice nurse. It's called the Death Deck. And what it is almost a way to start having conversations around death, almost like a trivial pursuit. So let me read you this question. This is the one you picked. The hardest part of caregiving for my terminally ill partner would be, I'm going to give you three choices. And if you don't like the three, you can pick D. Okay. A, feeling helpless and unable to control everything. B, the physical challenge of caring for them 24/7. Or C, watching them in physical and emotional pain.
Ooh, boy, that's a tough question. Um, I think there's a part of me that wants to answer one because I do like to be able to take control, but when I really think about it, it's C, watching them in physical and emotional pain, I think would be the hardest for me.
Or you could also do a D and put those two together if you like.
Put those two together because I think I feeling helpless and seeing them in pain are very, very similar for me. They're very connected.
Absolutely. So, what this does, this death deck allows us to start having conversations, and some of them are really funny, the answers, and some of them, I think it gets us starting to talk about death and dying. So, when I go out to networking groups and events, I always bring my death deck with me, and people are like, oh, here she comes again with the cards. So, I am very passionate about starting the conversation about death and dying because guess what, Dara? We're all going. So why not go the best way that you want to go? However that is, I know for me, I do not want to be a burden to my children. So I want to have everything in place so that my children do not have to do anything. And so that's my why, is wanting to give back to seniors and start having the conversation about death and dying in a way that's safe and that it maybe takes a little bit of the fear away. We don't know what's going to happen, but at least let's talk about it.
Tell me, I know you have this answer. Why do you call yourselves doulas?
Good question. I didn't come up with that. Somebody else did. And I think they came up with it just because the birth. So a doula is a Greek word. It's a Latin word meaning helper. And you may have heard of a birthing doula. They've been around for a while. And I think we're starting to see more and more of those. Those help women. Again, they're non-medical, but they help women as they're going through labor. And we, as end of life or death doulas, help them on the other end. And you know what? Dying is just as much of a labor as coming into the world. There's a lot of work that goes into dying as well. So that name came out, but we've been taking care of our dead and our people dying for years and years. But somehow we've moved away from it. It used to be the day when you would have home funerals and people were in their home and people would come view them. And now a lot of people send them to the funeral home as quickly as possible. And we want to educate people to let them know you can spend time with your loved one if you choose to do that. You can choose to bathe them before they go, or you could even choose to keep them at home for a few days, and we can help you do that. The doulas, there's a group of us and we all have different areas of expertise. So checking out the website and being able to see the doula that works best for you and what you're looking for.
I understand correctly, you're as end of life doulas, you engage with the family at any point in time. Someone knows they are entering that end of life process. They can engage with you anytime, but you stay with them all the way through as long as they like to beyond afterlife and helping and supporting the family. And that may be just a few days or it could be months, right?
Absolutely. That's very well said. We love working with hospice. We like to be the eyes and ears and be able to let hospice know what's happening. But again, we do not provide the medical piece. That's what hospice does. But we like to have families and people that we can work with as soon as possible, because there's a lot of things to get done and make sure that everything that we can help people have a good death.
So do you have one piece of advice you would give to our viewers?
Absolutely. Get your advanced directives done. I think that doing your advanced directives should be a high school senior graduation project. Class that everybody needs to know. Hope is not a plan, but having your wishes laid out so your family knows is the best gift you can give them. And letting people, not only getting the work done, but making sure somebody knows where all that work is at and telling people about it. We want to start helping have the conversations in the doulas, or we're going to start doing some classes around town, helping people get their advanced directives. We want to be here to give back to the community. So look out for some of those classes and things we'll be offering very soon.
Thank you so much for joining me today, Karen, and for sharing some information and knowledge about end-of-life doulas and how they can help. And thank you for supporting the mission of Learn to help people navigate the joys and challenges of aging and caregiving.
Absolutely. Thank you for providing such a wonderful space. Thank you.